Hello, everyone, and welcome to the launch day race for Cyberhook, a high-speed retro wave neon techno blocks floating in space style grappling hook game developed by Blazing Stick and published by Graffiti Games and available today on Steam. My name is Mythical9, and I'll be your commentator for this evening. And I've gone in here without a sound check, so if you guys could just go ahead and let me know if I sound okay or anything, that would be great. I'll talk a bit about what we're going to see tonight, but first, I gotta tell you, Speed Gaming is hosting a world record bounty competition for Cyberhook that will go until November 1st, where a total of $500 of prize money is available for the top 3 runs submitted for the any percent no major glitches category. Now, the game just came out, so we're not even sure what the category will look like. You know, that's starting to develop. That'll get hammered out very soon, and then everyone will know what they're competing for, I guess, and with and how. So thanks so much to Blazing Stick and Graffiti Games for providing not only the prizes, but also some Steam keys for our players. Very cool. For more information about the competition, you can type !Cyberhook in the chat, and you'll get a link to a page with some more information. We're also doing a community race in the next couple of weeks to show how players have progressed in learning to run the game. And on November 1st, we'll be doing a chase for the record to cap off the event and have some of our top players try to break the record in the 11th hour and maybe earn one of those cash prizes. It should be exciting. Tonight, however, we're here to celebrate the launch of the game with a blind race. Players are going to be navigating levels they haven't seen before on the fly, racing to complete them as fast as possible. Blind speedrunning isn't something we see too much on Speed Gaming, but it can be a really fun, exciting, challenging way to experience a video game, so I think we're going to be in for a good show. The racers are just starting off now with just sort of a tutorial sequence. I think they're all pretty familiar with the game and how to play. This isn't going to be a truly blind race. There's been a demo out for a little while. I'm pretty sure all 4 players on screen are at least familiar with the demo, if not the beta. Some players did really well in the demo, and the devs contacted them and hit them up with a key for the beta. So that was pretty cool. So you can see they're already off and running like crazy. For now, you've mostly just got this grappling hook, and a good rule of thumb for this game is you always want to be grappling something forwards. The grapple it's not one of those grappling hooks that doesn't do anything. It just kind of transfers momentum. It's one that will kind of reel you in when it's attached to something, so that's going to give you speed. The other thing that's going to give you speed is you can jump off of a grapple. That'll give you speed. You can run on the ground and build up speed that way. And there's some wacky tunnels that'll shoot you out flying. And I don't know, because again, I only played the demo, so who knows what else is waiting in this game. I guess Maurice maybe in the lead. Speed Tommy is in one of the levels that was in the demo, so that's a little familiar. And you see him skipping that tube. It actually is a little bit slower than just going this way, so this is the advantage of having played and speedrun the demo. These grapples from Tommy are really well placed, and then one more to go down onto the door. What is this? 22 seconds on this level is a fantastic time. All the other runners coming up on this now too. You can take a look at the speedometer in the bottom left. That'll kind of give you a good idea of how fast the players are really going, and so you can kind of look like, through this section, someone was at like 160, and if you see someone else is at like 130 or 40, that can give you a good sense of that someone has managed to go a little bit faster, do something a little bit cleaner. Maurice has reached the part of the demo where they teach you how to shoot. You've got a grappling hook, but you've also got finger guns that can blast apart some of these blocks. For early on, they're just kind of like, there will be a block or two in your way, and you got to shoot it, and that's it. But eventually they start to get pretty creative. The blocks are, blocking the only thing that you can grapple onto, for example. Jorf now reaching that section. And Tommy's in another level that was in the demo, so it's pretty familiar. It's swinging down to the low ground and heading up high into the air. It's pretty wild how you can kind of see what you were supposed to do, but there's so many opportunities to just go your own way, and a lot of the times it does end up being quite a bit faster. You're also probably noticing like you're seeing a lot of different levels from the players. It's going to be a pretty open-ended goal. There's just some levels out there, and depending on how fast you complete them, you'll earn a certain number of, I think we're calling them stars. They're diamonds, whatever. You get 1, 2, or 3, or 0, I guess, if you had a particularly bad run. But you need a certain number of those to keep unlocking levels, and what we're racing to is 170 of these diamonds. So there's kind of some decision making to do. If you do a level and you only got 1 diamond and you think, well, I could probably get 2 if I do it again, is it worth your time to complete a level quickly again, or is it going to be better to move on to a new level and try to see how many diamonds you can get there? So pretty interesting stuff in terms of Blind Race. We saw Speed Tommy there actually grappling the door that has the exit. It's blue, so anything blue in this game is something you can grapple to. They're all kind of color-coded that way. Green means you can shoot it, red means it's going to kill you. And sometimes there are some combinations, like purple stuff is both blue and red, so you can grapple to it, but it will kill you if you touch it. Really smooth movements from Alpha there, switching between shooting and grappling. There's a couple different ways you can control the game. Well, I guess the main one is that you can have the hook attach. By default, it will attach, and the only way to detach is to click another button to detach, or to jump for that slight boost. But you could have another control setting where, as long as you're holding the button down, you will stay attached, and as soon as you let go, you automatically detach. And for really quick, rapid detaches, it's really useful. But it does mean that you can't hold a grapple and not be reeling yourself in. You're doing it constantly. Now, it turns out if you want to go fast, that's kind of what you want to be doing anyway. But it does limit you from doing like maybe one big swing to try to get some kind of big skip or something. The tutorial bot, yeah, he is really cute. There is sort of a story to this game. It kind of hints at some kind of entity following you or chasing you. The runners are now learning about wall running or climbing. It's a thing that was not in the demo, so it surprised me when I saw someone playing this game earlier today and being like, wait, what is he doing? Because I thought I knew this game, but yeah, it turns out the demo didn't have everything. So this is going to be really fun, I think, for the players who only played the demo. Getting used to this, like introduced to this entirely new mechanic, that's probably going to throw them off a little bit. Alpha 5 is doing extremely well. Has finished that level. 20.3 is just 0.3 seconds off getting a diamond there. So that's one where you might think, oh man, I can save that 0.3. Do you spend 20 seconds trying to get that 0.3? Alpha says no, he's going to move on to a new level. I think in most cases, this is going to be the correct play, since you could earn another 2 or 3 diamonds for your trouble. It'll depend on kind of how short the level is and how confident you are that you can beat your time and whatnot. We're seeing a lot of purple stuff for Speed Tommy and Jorf now. Again, these are things you can grapple to, but if you touch them, they will kill you. It can be kind of unintuitive when you're soaring to grapple something below you and be pulling yourself down. You might think like, well, that's gonna, cut my jump short. That's probably not good, but it's also pulling you forward. So if you can, if you know you're going downwards is you're not going to be too far down, right? You're still going to be in range of another grapple. It can totally be worth it to aim down and grapple downwards. In fact, because you can jump after a grapple and then grapple after a jump and repeat that infinitely, you can actually be grappling down into the floor several times and just continuously jump. Down, grapple, jump, and actually like soar above, say a purple surface that could kill you if you touched it. 2 stars for both Jorf and Alpha. Nicely done in that level. Maurice is on another level that was in the demo, so he's taking the route that was kind of the fastest here. He's going to go into one of these speed tubes for a big launch. It looks like the end of this level is a little bit different, though. There's a couple tweaks. So let's see if he's ready for it. He needs to shoot a lot to break a bunch of green blocks, and then grapple up to the door. Very nicely done. Speed Tommy having a heck of a time out here. Unless, is he building speed to go for a skip? He is. Does he have enough? He's throwing out the double jump. He's using the slow-mo to grab it. Oh, and he's a little bit too shy. Very cheeky to go for something like that in a race like this. I think Speed Tommy was one of the players who did have the beta, actually, so is familiar with some of this stuff. All right. Yeah, he's just repeatedly grappling to the same stuff in the same part of the level, just trying to build up more and more speed to launch himself directly up to the exit. Let's see if he can pull it off, or he's gonna, you know, sort of abandon this and do the level a little more normally. It is hurting him for sure. If he'd just done the level normally, he would have been done by now. So it's a question of, you know, do I cut my losses? And it looks like that's what he's gonna do. Alpha on another level here. I can't remember if this was the level where Alpha was third in the world. There was one level in the demo where he just really liked it. So he played it a whole bunch. He goes ahead and gets 3 diamonds, cleared by 6 seconds on that level, making it look really easy. Sometimes the 3 diamonds, it's a pretty difficult benchmark to meet. Depends on the level. Sometimes it's a little more doable, and sometimes it's really mean. Tommy kind of soaring down under the level. You can go through the transparent yellow stuff, but you can't grapple through it. Jorf just hit a switch at high speed. Oh, he's gone and soared way over the door, having to pull himself down at the last second. And I don't know if he lost 4 seconds up in the air like that, but it would have been close to getting that 3rd diamond. That's a bit of a shame. One thing I'm not sure on, it just kind of seems, but I could see how I could get this wrong, but it seems like when you activate the temporary slow motion, you've got like some bullet time basically that you can do. It seems like your grapple's a little bit longer, and I did see Jorf use the slow-mo when he was falling down to the door, so I feel like he did that to reach a little bit longer and grab it sooner. Worth noting, not only will yeah, it does get longer. Okay, good to know I'm not crazy. Thank you. The slow-mo is interesting. The timer, in-game timer, will still tick while it's slowing down, so you definitely don't want to do it a lot. But extending your grapple obviously can be useful. Lining up a precise thing can be useful. So it is kind of interesting. I think most of these players are probably going to be using it just to extend their grapple a little bit longer whenever they need to. Who's in the lead? Very difficult to tell. I think you can tackle the stages in various orders, so it will be kind of mayhem in terms of figuring out who is in the lead. I'll have to try to catch a snapshot of how many diamonds everyone has, because not only are they completing certain levels, but they're earning a certain number of diamonds based off their time, so they might have played the same levels, but if someone did better in those levels, then they will have more diamonds from those levels. Or maybe someone's playing better overall, but they just kind of got lucky and hit certain breakpoints that another person didn't. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So we'll all have to work together to figure out who is in the lead, but we'll definitely know who's done at the end of the race. Oh, Maurice was in a bad situation there. He didn't have anything to grapple to, and there was a big red surface in his way. There's a lot of green and blue all over the place. Oh, but he does manage to grapple himself and get the height he needs to get safely onto this section, so that was a nice recovery. Really important to be able to do that. If a lot of these players maybe were, you know, grinding the individual level strats on the demo or whatever, but that's a pretty different thing than trying to sight read a level and correct for any mistakes that happen. Thankfully, at least 3 of these players are extremely skilled blind racers. I didn't talk too much about the players themselves because there was so much in the game to talk about, but Jorf is a really old school blind racer. I think he was a runner-up in Mystery Tournament 2, which is the blind speedrunning tournament. Alpha 5 is a top 8 contender in multiple Mystery Tournaments. Maurice won Mystery Tournament 14, and he also destroyed everyone in another grapple game. It's kind of has a similar feel to this game, actually, in a lot of ways, called Verlet Swing, I'm going to pronounce it. It's spelled V-E-R-L-E-T. But yeah, Maurice did phenomenal in that race. And Jorf actually had some world records, some individual world records in that game, so he also is no stranger to the grapple games. And Speed Tommy, I think, has been playing the beta, so he's got a lot of experience with this game in particular, and it's helping him out a lot. Speed Tommy just earned 3 diamonds. I'm trying to see if there's a spot where I can catch how many they have. It looks like Jorf and Maurice were pretty close together, around 30. Jorf unable to save himself here. The red wall's closing in. You can see him grappling the floor to just pull himself a little bit at a time. You can actually achieve some pretty surprising speeds just running on the ground and grappling into the floor over and over. Alpha 5 building up a ton of speed and able to navigate that. He's floating over a bunch of purple that will kill him. He's looking for somewhere to grapple to. He does find something, but he needs to be over there, so he's lost a lot of speed correcting. But he is gonna... okay. He's going under the stage, and now he's got to do this swing around maneuver. This is something you'll be familiar with if you've made mistakes in this game before. That was pretty nicely done, honestly, getting out of a bad situation. Jorf starting up a level here. These switches will sort of remove this red barrier. And that lets you swing through. Looks like Jorf didn't like how much speed he lost there. Now that he knows what the level's about, he's going to go ahead and start it again. Maurice's turn for this run through these the red wall section here. He caught pretty quickly that you can go underneath here and not have to worry about the red. Running along has built up a ton of speed. He's going past several grapple points. That's the kind of thing where you know I could probably grapple these on the way and go a little bit faster, but not knowing what I'm heading towards, is it worth, looking away from where I'm supposed to be going in order to go just at half a second faster maybe. I feel like consistency and control is going to be the most important thing in this race. The mouse cursor circles of shame, yeah. That's the only way that the players have to express themselves on stream, and they'll use it. Show your love for Alpha 5, soaring through the heart. What's kind of really fun is if you haven't seen a level before, you might not even really be sure where the exit is. Sometimes they're kind of like hidden in little alcoves and stuff. You might see players having to hunt around a little bit just to find out where they're supposed to go. Speed Tommy now not only familiar with this game, but also with the runner-up in the Bite the Bullet competition that just ended that Speed Gaming's been doing too. So really capable at picking up stuff quickly. You might think, okay, well if it's if you're blind racing a speed run, isn't it just kind of like random who wins if no one's had time to practice? But just looking at the results of the winners of Mystery Tournament, you'll see the same names up in the top every single time, and there's just your natural ability to read what a game is telling you just by the way it looks and all the subtle cues. Your ability to learn quickly, your ability to make good decisions quickly under pressure, and also your ability to apply everything you've learned from all the other games you've played onto the one you're currently playing. It all comes together. And so there are some people who they're just really good at this stuff, and I'm really glad that we found 4 really strong blind racers to play this game. I promise you, this game is harder than they're all making it look. If you go ahead and give this a shot yourself, you probably will not be finding so many first try double diamonds. Maurice has some moves. He's working his way up the outside of this tower, and it's got a pretty good launch into some purple stuff here. Extended grapple is going to get him to the exit. Incredible precision and reflexes also. That'll also go a long way in a game like this. We've seen Maurice dominate a couple of games in Mystery Tournament, like for sure, right? And there's plenty of other people who can give him a run for his money, but when this grapple game called Verlet Swing came along, he combined being one of the best blind speedrunners with being one of the best mouse control players to just completely run away with it. It was very impressive, and those skills are on display here today. He is trying to figure out just where to go here. There's an awful lot of... Oh, he has figured out that you can just grapple the floor and then jump and then grapple the floor. He uses that to coast through the purple. That would have killed him if he landed on it, and he beats the level. Nicely done. How many diamonds? 3, of course. underneath that 20-second mark. Yeah, at least 3 of our racers also have experience with Verlet swing, as I said. Jorf in particular actually has like world records, I think maybe still in that game. He is struggling a little bit now, though. He's looking for this one piece of blue, and he's caught it, and he is going to be able to sort of redirect and recover. Nicely done. Into this tube. Now, the arrows are telling him to look the other way. I don't know if he saw them. He's found something. I think this is the bottom of the tube. He's wondering what it is. He needs to turn around. Oh, no. There we go. That's where we're going. Oh, okay. Tommy now finding that one thin blue bar as he was running. Your ability to kind of flick grapple shots can matter a lot. It can open up new ways for you to go a little bit faster and save time. Maurice on this level that Jorf was just on. Jorf only picked up 1 diamond there. Maurice has gone the wrong way, but he is able to fling himself back into the play zone here. But he too is going to have to make an awkward recovery. He's standing on top of the walls. I think he actually intentionally ran along the walls there to build up speed before jumping out again. Alright, so he's in the tunnel. We'll see how mixed up he gets. Nope, he saw the arrows right away. Very nicely done. Alpha 5's making his way up. I think, yeah, I couldn't tell if it was up or down, but he's on a very vertical level, which is a totally different look and feel to it. Also gives you a really big advantage if you're using the slowdown to extend your grapple. Oh, but he dies really late into the level, and I think he actually identified that level is so long, it's not worth my time. And that's the kind of heads-up thinking you'll see from strong mystery racers. So yeah, he's not gonna finish the rest of that world. He's gonna jump to another world. Really smart stuff. We're getting, finally, 2 runners like in the same level side by side, except Jorf just died actually on the purple, so he's gonna have to run that one back. The other player was Maurice. He's getting bumped up on these stairs here. I think he's not sure where to go. It was a little scary. The yellow is kind of hiding a lot of things. Going underneath the level. And into the exit. Nicely done. Jorf also looks like he's going to try to go under. Oh, but the purple was waiting for him on the other side. Dang. Alpha 5 is running through some tunnels, grappling down to fall faster. Nicely done. Threw a purple diamond and didn't quite. You do have a double jump in this game, but it didn't quite get him the height he needed to sail through. The double jump is really interesting because this is a game about building up momentum and keeping it. And so if you're doing a big launch somewhere and you want to land on something or get into a general area, the double jump really helps you maneuver into that area. But depending on when you use it, it might kill a lot of your speed. And it turns out usually it's towards the end of your grapple that you're falling. And at that point, that falling, that's momentum, that's kinetic energy that you have. And so if you go ahead and double jump, it's going to just immediately cancel out all that downward speed, and it's going to kill a lot of your speed. So that's there's a real speed control trade-off with how you use the double jump. Maurice was looking for a long grapple to save himself there, and he didn't quite get it. Jorf, 1.5 seconds shy of picking up 3 diamonds on that level. He's back in the hub with his adorable talking TV. Speed Tommy has to do some... You either got to do some left-rights. Well, you do actually. They're red, so you cannot touch the red. So you kind of want to cut those S-turns as close as you can. Really not easy. He is able to save himself. It never feels good to have to, grab onto a ledge and run your face right into it, and then lose all your speed. But after a difficult level, you might want to just be happy with the win. Looks like Tommy's back into it actually. Oh, he was trying to cheese the level, not realizing that since the beta, the level got updated. That's funny. I like the idea of someone's advantage of having played the game before being nullified by the game tricking them like that. So now that we're somewhat into this race now. If you've been watching this and you think that this game looks really cool, not only is it on sale for this week for 10% off, but we still have some keys. The developers were very nice and gave us 30 keys to give away to our players who were going to compete in our competition. And we didn't use all of them. So !Cyberhook will get you the details for where to go to look up the competition. And if you sign up, the first, I guess, probably 8 people will get a key to play the game. So that's pretty sweet. Maybe you'll go on to be one of the people competing in our bounty competition. Maybe you'll go on to win, I think, $250 for the first place prize, $500 in total, available for the taking. Oh, look at these rapid grapples and jumps into the floor from Alpha 5. Nicely done. He's out into the level proper now. Well, that was a really clean finish. The wall was in his way and he didn't quite get it down in time. I'm not very good at the rapid right clicks to shoot the gun and break the walls really quickly and smoothly. So I find myself in those situations too, where I'm looking at a big cracked green wall I didn't shoot enough shots into, and now I'm in trouble. That was a really good move by Alpha though to correct for that. Jorf on this difficult back and forth red level, really smooth actually through the last 3 or so gates, but then wasn't able to read what the heck is going on with this next part of the level, so yeah, I have to just kind of stop and build up speed. And now that he realizes kind of what it's about, oh no, he had such a good angle through most of those, but was not able to clutch it out at the end. That sort of that ability to clutch is just so important in blind racing. In a game like this, right, it's the difference. It's like 30 seconds you lose or something, having to redo an entire game again. So. Do we know the current level? Well, the order of levels is a little bit weird. You can do them in a wide variety of orders, depending on how many diamonds you earn. Will depend when you can move on to the next world. And also, we're competing today not just to beat the levels, though that's certainly part of it. We're looking to earn 170 diamonds, and so that will that's what opens up kind of the end of the game and unlocks marathon mode, which I think is probably what the players are going to be doing to compete with throughout the competition, the bounty tournament, bounty competition. But today we're just trying to earn those diamonds. It would be a bit unfair to ask the players to complete the whole game just before the race, just to unlock the mode that everyone would be competing on. The only way that this game is like Super Turrican is that Jorf is playing it. He's actually a former record holder. I think he might still have the record in a couple Turrican games. These transparent blue and red walls have been giving Jorf such trouble. He is still on this level. We'll see if he can conquer it this time. Speed Tommy rocketing with 150 units of speed. I'm not sure if it's kilometers per hour, miles per hour, or meters per second, or who knows. But, all that speed is gone as he carefully picks his way up a very dangerous tower, floats too high to the top, and gets got. And that seemed like a pretty long level too, so one of the more painful deaths, probably. Alpha 5 in a level we saw before from Jorf and Maurice. Doing a real big launch. He grappled as soon as he could there, trying to get cheeky and maintain his speed there. He extended his grappling hook with the slowdown just to go as soon as possible, because it would give him a little forward kick that he needed to kind of get through Jorf, once again, coming up to the end of this difficult level. He is kind of caught. I don't know how he made it through there, but he's caught on to the side-to-side, being one way to get the height that you need to pass through each of these gates. And I'm pretty sure he's got it now. The slow-mo grapple for the extra length. Perfect. Where is Maurice? He is at the end of the level. Nicely done. Earning himself a double diamond. Not too far away from the triple. It's going to be pretty hard on a lot of these harder levels to, on a blind run, get the triple diamond. But I wouldn't put it past these players. They are quite good. Alpha also getting tricked by this air jet that seems to be coming through the floor. And he was pretty sure that would activate it, and he didn't realize that was the way forward, so he's dropping down now. Or he's setting up for some kind of crazy skip, I don't know, but once more. Okay, he sees the arrows now. He's on. That's the kind of stuff that'll happen when you're in a blind race. Diamonds seem more forgiving than teacups. You have the teacup rating, I guess it's teapot really, in similar grapple game, Verlet Swing, included a fourth diamond, if you will. That was basically like a developer time, so it was basically impossible until you had spent a long time with the game. The 3 diamond scores, the goals, the time, is much more approachable in this game. Ooh, Alpha 5 with a bad grapple, lost a lot of his speed. Is 3 diamonds always gold? I'm pretty sure there's only 3. I mean, I only played the demo, and I guess I never got any, like, amazing times in the demo either, so I guess I don't know if there's a super secret S-rank 4th diamond, a rainbow diamond. This level that Tommy is on is just a massive construction all over the place. Really unclear even where the end goal is. But I think that's it on that platform right there, but he is too low. Very unfortunate on a long level like that. Yeah, I think the gold is just part of the animation for getting the 3rd one, which I think tells me, like, that means you got them all. Alright, this time Tommy, it's not going to be the cleanest finish. He's going to have to do one of these, clip to the ledge and then jump up. But he is going to get through, and that's what's important. Jorf is in a really scary situation. Everything around him is fixing to kill him, and he's got to work his way up this tower. And again, we saw that from Alpha 5, going a little bit too high, flipping the ceiling. Maurice has identified the arrows again, and has found the correct direction to be facing. Got a really good launch out of that too. Really like what he's doing. There's the, in racing with, cars, the way that we do in our normal human world, there's the idea of a racing line, which is like, this is the optimal path through this course, given the limitations of physics and cars and things. And so there's some kind of theoretical line through these levels that will kind of, meander this way or take this shortcut or whatever. But kind of deviating from that can sometimes put you in a position to land more grapples, which can help you build up more speed and might end up ultimately being faster. It's a really difficult thing to try to puzzle out on the fly. Jorf barely able to save himself at the top of the tower with a really well-timed slow down grapple hook into a jump, and he's going to go ahead and clear that and get 3 diamonds actually on that level. Nicely done. Alpha 5 picking his way through some yellow areas, doing a bit of a wall run. Don't want a wall run on the purple, that will kill you. He's going to grab the ledge, and it's going to be a bit of an ugly fin. Oh no! The kill plane, it was really high up. He couldn't fall down far enough to... Well, he could have, but it was a really small window he had to connect the grapple hook and save himself right at the end of the level there. So he's gone ahead and moved on to another level. Again, that really heads up thinking of, like, what's the best way to use my time to get these diamonds? It's really easy to just fall into the sort of, I don't want to say trap, but fall into the pattern of just kind of like playing the game as it serves up the levels, but maybe there's something you can be doing a little bit outside the box to be speeding up your race. Here's Tommy in the lead. I certainly have no idea. We'll all have to try to work together to catch how many diamonds everyone has. I would not be surprised. Tommy, an extremely skilled player, who's demonstrated that in the Big Bite the Bullet competition. Also, just has some experience playing the beta, I'm pretty sure, and that will count for a lot too. We got some moving objects now. When you are tethered to something that is moving forwards, not only is the tether retracting, but the thing is also pulling you. It gives you a huge speed boost. Tommy rides it all the way to the end of the level. Pretty sure that's 3 diamonds. Yeah, cut it by 0.2. Really nicely done. Maurice on a difficult level filled with a mix of purple and blue. Again, purple will kill you. I cannot believe he didn't die. Okay, now he's dead. How did he do that? The slowdown into the immediate jump. You can feel the force trying to slow all his speed and project himself away from the wall. I'm really sad that didn't work out. I really liked that move. Dwarf running a bit on the ground. Again, he's taking this sort of inside path on this curve of boxes. That's what made me think of that racing line analogy. And he's not afraid to grapple down into these boxes. Pretty smooth control. Overshot the goal a little bit at the end. We'll see if that costs him. No, he still gets that 3rd diamond by just a little over 3 seconds. Nicely done. It's going to make a pretty big difference, I think, coming out of a level with 2 or 3 diamonds. Right? I think probably pretty commonly these guys are so good that they're going to be getting 2 instead of 1 more often. But 3 is really tough on a blind run, so they're capable of it, and every time they pick one up, I think it's going to make a pretty big difference in the outcome of the race. Alpha 5 is at the door. Just get in the door. So you can grapple to, if the door is on a blue thing, you can get into, you can grapple onto that. The door itself is blue, so you can grapple it, but the sort of like swirling gateway that is the door is not something you can grapple to, so you can't just aim right in the middle of it where you want to be and grapple yourself. You have to kind of train yourself to either aim for the edges or something else. Yeah, the order of who's in the lead seems to be Speed Tommy in the bottom left, Maurice in the bottom right, Jorf in the top right, and then Alpha in the top left. If someone could even just point out to me at what point how many diamonds they have is visible on screen, because they are moving pretty quick, and I'm always trying to like dart my eyes back and forth to whoever is moving, so it would be great if I could help keep track instead of relying on you guys. But this is a real hectic format we have for this race, especially for a game that just came out today, so hopefully we're all having fun and enjoying it. Dwarf is 81, Alpha at 78. Right after they get a cutscene. Thank you very much. Ooh, a bit of a bad hook there right at the end from Alpha 5. This is pretty common. You've got a tether somewhere. You want to hold it as long as possible because it's pulling you forwards the whole time. So if you let go of that tether late, it's gonna start to pull you kind of violently off to the side, as if you're doing a side tether like that. So it's the kind of thing where you could release it a little earlier just to make sure that you're going the way that you want to go, but you are sacrificing that speed. Another trade-off the players are kind of having to make constantly, either consciously or unconsciously. There's so much that goes into deciding how you play these games. Triple diamond from Speed Tommy, 6.7 seconds, a pretty fast level. There are a couple of really short ones with just like some one cheeky move you gotta pull off. Jorah finishing a level now. 14.2, good enough for the triple diamonds. Maurice is in a wacky blue zone. Almost difficult just to figure out where to go when your entire screen is filled with neon blue. He's looking for something to grapple to. Alright, he finds it there. Just a double jump will get you up there. He's skipping this entire blue structure off to the left. What a launch straight to the exit. Jorf is in a massive blue temple that I am really digging the look of. Now it's getting kind of mazy. You can see him opting to throw in some of these grapples under the floor. That's something you could be doing basically all the time while you're running around like this. But if you mess up and you kind of keep it attached into the floor, it's gonna, like a cartoon character, like, you know, yank you back and completely kill all of your speed, so. Alright, here's a cutscene from Alpha 5. What is happening? He found us. Oh my god. That's right, this game does have a story. And yeah, there it is on screen. A little bit too blurry for me to read on my commentator viewer, unfortunately, so no help. I can say Tommy is on a level called Purple Veins. This was a level that was in the demo. And it had a ridiculous skip you could do that got changed. So Tommy's going to have to play it a little bit normal here. It looks like he had a ton of speed, though. I was up to like 160 on the speedometer, was really good. Oh, he didn't realize he was looking up, so he didn't realize there was a lower part of the structure that just like an I-beam caught him right in the chest there. Alpha on this difficult back and forth left-right level. We saw this be a real problem for Jorf. It got Maurice a couple times too. Let's see what Alpha can do here. We'll see if he picks up on the fact that he can kind of snake left and right. Oh, yeah, that first one is really mean. That one will get you. It's more about the second try, I think. Well, I guess the second try got cut pretty short, but we won't count that one. Maurice finishing a level just under 30 seconds to earn the triple diamond. He's onto this Purple Veins level now, too. Ooh, he's going to have to turn around and grab something here. Which is kind of surprising, because I know Maurice has played the demo, and this level was in the demo. Maurice, what are you doing? Alright, he has managed to grapple forwards now. He was living out his childhood dream of going all the way around the swing set, you know? He's able to finally do that, so I think we can all respect that choice. Alpha 5, this is a tough level. It's hurting him a little bit. He's cutting it really close on some of these grapples, just barely able to save himself. But he is through the first section. Jorf with a big launch directly into the door. Tommy's looking at an exit, using that extended range to pull himself in immediately. 27.3. Wow, 20 was the goal. There are 3 diamonds on that level. I tell you, some of these are pretty tough. Two distinct levels of blind racing confidence. Focusing on not dying, focusing on going fast, and everyone here is focusing on going fast. I definitely agree. That slow-mo mechanic, you know, they're using it to extend their grapple quite a bit, but you could use it wherever, right? Like if you were just like, oh, I'm not sure where to go, hold on, give me a moment to think, and right, you could do that, but we're really not seeing much of it from any of these players. Oh, Jorf was not able to save himself, flung himself directly into a beam. The placement of these beams in this level is like just where you don't want them to be in a lot of situations. They're very well placed. Jorf doing a bit of a skip here, flinging himself directly onto this part here. Alpha, is he going to be able to save himself here? Actually, you want to be going slow. The double jump. Oh, he didn't break the grapple fast enough, so it pulled him right up and around and into the red. Wow, thanks so much to Oshmir for gifting me a sub to Speed Gaming. I saw one earlier too, and I wasn't sure how commentators react to to thanking viewers and stuff for subs anymore. It's been a long time since I've been a commentator on Speed Gaming, but on behalf of Speed Gaming, and in this very unique case, myself, thank you very much. Soaring through a red gate is Jorf. And into another one. This is really scary stuff. Where do we go? Using the double jump and getting a moment to think and control himself. Oh, that is a platform. That is not see-through. You do have to land on top of that and not swing through it. Seeing a lot of red on everyone's screen now, actually. I don't think Tommy's actually in this same level, though, unless he's further in. Oh, Jorf's going down below. He's found some purple he can grapple to on the outside. And there's the exit. Actually, really, really close between Jorf and Maurice, though Jorf with the better time, but again, like I said, not earning an extra diamond. That's really what counts at the end of the day. I'm really happy. I don't know what sort of a logical progression of levels that has caused Jorf and Maurice to be in the same level all the time, but it's really good to at least have two people to directly compare. Alpha 5 trying once again to finish this difficult level. On to the end, using the slow-mo, and oh, it's just so hard. I think the problem is that you have to go slow. I think Alpha just doesn't want to go slow. Red tunnels now. Jorf and Maurice. Maurice able to land safely. I wonder if Jorf was like just kind of like stretching his hands or something, or if he knows that you can skip those intro crawl cutscenes. That time would kind of add up a little bit. I'm pretty sure he's been skipping them in other levels. Whoop! He flew right past a switch. He's not sure if he hit it. He's just looking around like, what is this thing? He's pretty sure he's gonna go back in, and something else has opened up for him now. Maurice is in a tricky situation. He's using the walls to steady himself. All right. Moving smoothly again. Oh man, this is so hard. It's true that you could watch the cutscene just to look at what you're supposed to do, right? Like, if you see the first few shots and you're like, whoa, what is happening here? You might totally be content to just watch and see. Especially a level like they're on now, where it's pretty mazy, right? Like, you gotta go outside, hit a switch, and come back. Tommy at 107 stars. It's more than halfway to our goal of 170. I'm not sure what the maximum number of diamonds is in the game, so that the players kind of know like what kind of pace they should be on, right? It would be a real shame to get through all of the levels and then be like, I'm a couple short, I gotta go back. Alpha at 82, so a pretty big lead Tommy has built up for himself. Not surprising, given his skill and experience with the game. Triple diamonds. Alpha did get walled really hard on that back and forth red-blue transparent level. But there's been a couple other things that have got him a little bit aside from that. So here's Jorf. We're gonna be able to check in and see where he's at, and then pretty shortly I think we're gonna get Maurice as well. Oh, Maurice, you can't grapple onto the tube. He needed to get in that tube. There it is. That's a triple-digit number, 100-something. I'm gonna say it was 102. 110. Wow. So that would put Jorf in the lead, I think. Tommy's probably earned one or two or since we last checked in, so maybe it's actually really close. There's 3 diamonds for Alpha 5, looking to start the comeback. Maurice is in a really fun looking level. I like when they kind of box you in I mean, maybe in terms of playing those levels, it doesn't feel so good to not be able to grapple wherever you want, but just watching it aesthetically, I really like the look of these levels when they're not afraid to put a bunch of walls and stuff up. So, not the cleanest finish, Maurice. We'll see. Yeah, he was not able to get the triple diamonds. Maybe if he had a better ending, might have been enough. Hard to say. 7 seconds is a big chunk of time. Alpha with a double. Jorf hitting a switch and spawning a tube right on top of him. Pretty surprising. Was able to react to that nicely. He's going to go straight for the exit here. Wow. Wow. All except for not releasing the last grapple right at the end. That was actually extremely well done. Oh, and I think it might have cost him a diamond. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It would have been close. Maurice sailing through the transparent, but he's realizing there's nothing on the other side to grapple to, so I gotta make something work. He is going backwards with his grappling hook. Are you serious? Such amazing control from Maurice, using the slow down, grapple, and jump immediately to propel himself away slightly several times to get the distance he needed to reach the goal. Very well done. This isn't that reversing magnet glove from that one Zelda game, one of the Oracle games. I'm gonna say Seasons. It might have been the other one. You can't just make the grappling hook repel you. It is always pulling you forward. So going backwards with it like that, extremely well done. Tommy is blasting and grappling all over the place through this blue tunnel. The speed lines have completely destroyed the bitrate. I had no idea what was happening, and I guess he died. Did not see what did it. This game does get pretty wild. And the music, too, on the levels where it's got that pulse-pounding beat. Can tell you, this game is really fun. I'm not sure if we still have keys to giveaways. The last time I mentioned it, maybe a couple of people went ahead and got on board, but !Cyberhook. I guess I'm gonna even type it for you. We'll put some information in chat where you can find out about the competition happening on Speed Gaming. We're doing a blind race to celebrate the launch of the game, but all throughout October until November 1st, we're gonna be having a sort of bounty competition on the top 3 times. So get your speedrun submissions in on speedrun.com. And on November 1st, we'll take a look at the top 3 and award some cash prizes, actually, courtesy of developer Blazing Stick and publisher Graffiti Games. 18 seconds from Jorf, good enough for 3 diamonds. Yes, no, not October 1st, November 1st. You're gonna have a whole month to play, to compete, to get your best time on the board. This is a ridiculous swing Jorf has launched himself into, and it looks like it was not going to get him where he needed to go, so he had to course correct, barely dodging the red wall, and he's going to be able to connect with this blue staircase now. Maurice is looking at a level pretty similar to that Purple Veins level. Waiting to latch on there to get him a good swing. He's going to go ahead and go into this tunnel. I probably would have thought, screw that tunnel. I don't want to waste time going through something you made. I'm going to go around it. And then I would have been screwed because the exit was actually inside the tunnel. Here's the level that was in the demo. I think Maurice knows he's going to grapple onto this tower here and launch himself up with a ton of speed. It's going to be able to let him skip. Ooh, no, his speed was too far sideways and not far enough up, so he's going to have to do some work and get into the tube to kind of beat the level the more normal way. Several rapid grapples from Tommy. This is the ideal thing you want to be doing in this game. You want to be grappling onto something mostly in front of you, but a little bit off to the side, and you want to be doing it as much as possible. That is when you're always accelerating towards the goal. That's how you get the most speed and truly go fast in this game. Only got 2 diamonds though, so I think something went a little bit wrong at the end of the level, or the beginning of the level, because the end looked super solid. Speed Tommy looking for something to save himself there. Not gonna find it. Dwarf gets pegged by the windmill, kills all this speed. Gonna have to improvise a bit of an ending to the level here, but nicely done. Alpha 5 in a rotating tunnel. Handles that with aplomb. Big launch from Maurice. He's way up high. He is going to be within range. A couple of grapples nicely. It's a really awkward thing sometimes when you launch yourself really high in the air. If you don't do anything about it, you're just going to get way up into the air. You're going to have all this hang time doing nothing. The timer's ticking. So he really smartly grappled onto something below him. If you've got a lot of upward speed, it can be kind of scary because it's just going to launch you forwards all of a sudden. But he reacted really well to the end of the level. Dwarf on a terrifying level, while considering it's almost entirely red and purple, yeah, that's pretty nasty. Oh, and you have to go so fast to launch yourself out of the tunnel. It's not even the end. Is he going to have what he needs? Yes, he is able to connect. He doesn't touch the purple, and now you need to descend. Slowing it down a little bit, and right into the door. Was that like first try? 3 diamonds? This man. Somebody stop him. Speed Tommy actually on this very same level. Barely able to avoid the purple. Seems to have enough speed to make the transfer. Yeah, the purple you can grapple to. I like to think of it as being both red and blue. So it will kill you like red, and you can grapple to it like blue. Things kind of break down a little bit when, like, you know, yellow you can stand on but blocks your grapples, and green you can shoot and also blocks your grapples, but you can't stand it. Yeah. The color analogy, I think, doesn't hold up, but it is pretty clear at a glance what everything is. Ooh, Alpha 5 with a really high-speed shot and, you know, to reveal the grapple point and then grappling it with the slowdown. Ton of speed, unable to control it, and hits a red pillar. That is the danger. So this game is addicting. The speed in this game just feels so good, right? So, and all these guys are good enough that most of the time they can control that speed, but it's like intoxicating. You get going up, that speedometer's red, the speed lines kick in, and you're just like, yes, yes! And then you don't know where you're going, you don't know what's coming up, and you smash into a wall or whatever, right? It's maybe not the best decision in a blind race like this to be flying at 170 miles per hour, but boy, it just sure feels good. A little more control. Oh, a couple of missed shots. Well, finds a grapple point and maybe over there, but not enough to save. Bunch of purple all over the place. Double jump from Speed Tommy to save himself into an all blue section. And then a very much not blue section. Very intimidating walls. Yeah, not going quickly here. Oh, but I think he had a double jump there he didn't want, and it sent him into the ceiling, unfortunately. Orange, where you can touch it and it kills you. Yes, that's how the colors don't lie. Yeah, Twitch is hurting. Where you know, the players are restreaming and maybe they're not using the absolute best settings or whatever. This game, it looks great when you're actually playing it. It's a very simple aesthetic, but it just works so hard. Ton of green blocks getting mashed down by Alpha 5. And he's going once again with a lot of speed. He loses all of it on the wall here, so now he's forced to go slow. Maybe this is going to help him out. At the end of the level, and there it is. It sure did. Jork getting a cutscene. Is this VR? Boy, it would be great in VR. I don't think it is right now. Motion sickness inducing. I guess, I don't know. It depends. Everyone's sensitive to different things. Some people can handle it, man. I don't know if I could, but I'd like to try it. Alpha 5 on this Purple Veins level. He's familiar with the old layout of it because it was in the demo, but it's been changed a little bit. It now extends off and to the left right here, whereas normally it used to curl around, and it opened up an opportunity for a really big skip. So he's kind of reacting to the new stuff here now. Just doing some pretty simple grapples on the outside. Really lowers the chances of him running into some piece of structure the way that a lot of other players did, so I really like that approach, and it's good enough for the 3 diamonds. Jorf as well, picking one up. I think Jorf was like maybe the only Canadian to reach that level. Oh, I saw the leaderboard there. It was 3. He's 3rd currently in Canada. Yeah, the leaderboards in this game are really good. They go individual level time. They're individual level based. I think maybe there's some marathon leaderboards as well. Now that the full game is out, but you can download the replays of the top times. So for me, for example, it was very mysterious seeing, you know, I worked my butt off for a 34-second time and find out someone did it in 14. Right? What do they know that I don't? So then you can download the replay, watch it, and see how to do it, mimic it, and get better yourself. So the other cool thing this game has is there's a button right on the title screen that's like, here's our Discord, connect to it. So like if you were ever playing and you were like, man, I want to speedrun this game, I want to learn more about how to go fast in this game, I want to, you know, talk to other people about this game, there's a button right in the bottom right corner that's like just right there. Take me there. Alpha 5 is sick of trying to navigate this tricky level, so he's going to launch himself around the outside of it and look for something to grab onto. Yeah, okay, he's going to give up on it. Man, he was going with a lot of speed there. We saw players be a lot more cautious around all this red. Alpha 5, perhaps to his detriment, has been all too willing to push himself on these levels. 130 for Maurice, 135 for Tommy. The last time we saw Jorf, he was really close to Tommy. But he has been having a bit of trouble with this level. It's awfully purple in here. And now, purple is interesting because you can sort of grapple into it and then jump away from it over and over to keep yourself off of it. But Jorf's not messing around with any of that. He's just found a couple spots that he can grapple to. Grapple cleanly to it, change direction, go to the other one, and it earns him a pretty easy triple diamond, actually. Onto a pretty scary looking level, actually, a big vertical tower. Speed Tommy's trying to find a little pixel of blue to grapple onto, and he's not going to find it, unfortunately. If he was a little faster on hitting that slowdown button, I think he would have been okay. This time he's got a pretty good launch, and he's going to go under here. Whoa, very scary stuff, but oh, he almost pulled it off. All right, Jorf in the lead, Maurice behind, taking 2nd place. Sort of a change in position from Tommy, who's in 3rd, and Alpha 5 in 4th currently. There are some other players who are racing along in this opening event. These are just the players we have on stream at the moment. He just keeps getting triples, yeah. It matters. It matters a lot. Those extra diamonds here and there, just from going a tiny little bit faster, can have a really big impact. So as much as I've been saying, you know, being mindful of controlling yourself in the levels to get through them, and not sending yourself flying into something dangerous, I also, you know, got to see the value of it. But if you push yourself and get that 3rd diamond, that's going to help you out a lot in the long run. Alpha 5 with a not so clean ending, but it's just barely good enough to get the triple diamond. The timer does run normal and slow down, yeah, so the players are going to be very judicious with their use of it. They will use it to extend their grapple in a lot of cases, especially to save yourself. But I don't think we've really ever seen a player slow down time just to give themselves time to think or react or anything. Even though that's kind of its intended use, I think. In the demo where they introduce it, they have you launch yourself at a platform that you have to quickly grapple to sort of save yourself from flying into the void, and they have you use the slowdown there to give yourself the time to line it up. We are seeing a little bit of it now. That's good enough for the end. 5.7 is good enough for the triple diamond. We're seeing Maurice on that level Jorf was just on. And he too is opting for just opting for the one surface on each of these sections. You might think like, well, if he gets like one of these things, why is he struggling with the second one or the third one? And it's because gravity is still a thing. Sometimes it feels like it's not with the way that they're grappling so smoothly through these levels, but it really is changing the timing on how fast you need to do the next thing if you're, falling down or falling, quote unquote, sideways. I don't think Maurice knows that you can break the grapple, or he probably knows, but he's just not comfortable with it. You can break the grapple with a different button rather than jumping, because he keeps jumping into the ceiling after landing a grapple to sort of break the grapple, and it's hurting him a little bit here. Jorf with an insane flight over some of these red squares. I don't even know what he's grappled onto right now, but it's going to be good enough to make some progress. He's going to go into the tunnel, and he's too low, unfortunately. Speed Tommy joining Maurice in this difficult level. And I think he ran into the trouble where he tried to shoot the grapple and he was already inside a blue block. And so it just kind of tethered him to exactly where he was standing and then quickly launched him up into the ceiling a little bit. It can be really awkward sometimes when you find yourself inside one of those blue blocks. Those transparent ones. Maurice on the outside of a level, barely holding himself in, but I think he realized the exit is locked inside. What the heck? What is that? Is that a map of the level inside the level? Little Easter egg? Yeah, Jorf is... So I can't tell if Jorf might be leveraging a trick that he found. Yeah. So I thought this was kind of known by everyone in the community and was maybe going to get patched out or whatever, but this was definitely something that Jorf at least found on his own independently. And if you slow down time and grapple and then break that grapple with the jump, that jump is going to give you a kick. It's going to give you a speed boost. And so while you're in slow-mo, you can grapple jump, grapple jump, grapple jump, grapple jump, grapple jump, and basically jump like 6 times all at once. And it just gives you a huge kick in speed, and Jorf just used that to fly over that entire dangerous red section. So I guess that is definitely still in the game. Now he's trying to figure out, where do I go? I'm in a new place? He's in a new place. Okay. Actually finding the exit, no problem. I'm gonna guess that was triple diamond. Oh, and actually 3 seconds off. Oh, I guess he went around the outside, and you want to just go right immediately, maybe? I could be trying to route the levels myself. It is really fun. It's a fun game to play and try to figure things out. Speed Tommy is using those quick grapple jumps to position himself very carefully above the purple here. Maurice now doing some of this too. Alpha's got another cutscene with the green evil eye. We'll see how many diamonds he has in a moment, I think. That's 111, I think, so trailing some of our other players still. Gonna be pretty tough to mount a comeback from this position. We're pretty late into the race now. I should point out, we've been live doing this race for over an hour now. This game is really fast-paced, and it's also kind of physical. Like, the mouse movements require a lot of focus, as well as sight reading the levels and making a lot of decisions. So I found this game incredibly draining to play. So I can only imagine that after an hour of this, there's some amount of fatigue going on with the players too. Jorf leveraging that double jump. I think he's home free out of that difficult level. Maurice is paused here, actually. Our first finish off stream, Daka, I think, is a player who has been playing the demo as well. Congrats to them. Maurice was checking to make sure, how do I know how many diamonds I have so I know when I finish the race. Very important thing. Ooh, that thing is moving away. You can use that for a big speed boost. He runs on the floor, actually cutting the 20-second mark for the triple diamond. Jorf as well. 19 seconds for a triple diamond. Maurice not going to find anywhere to go. Speed Tommy is on that level. Actually, Maurice is here with him. This level that Jorf used his trick to skip, you can see the opening is very difficult. There is not a lot of space and you constantly have to be grappling down and then jumping up. And so that sort of diagonal movement has to fit inside this narrow corridor. Alpha 5's catching a ride on some crazy blue tunnel snake thing. This is a lot of fun. Pulls himself past it. Is that a mailbox? Is that what that is? Now I'm getting some real Verlet Swing vibes. Random objects floating in space. Jorf sees a big blue tunnel and says, yeah, okay, but what if I went in over here instead? Looks like it's going to be a little bit faster, but definitely a scarier entrance. Boy, the levels are getting really difficult. Speed Tommy looking for something to grapple to. He finds it, actually. And then controlling himself upwards. Very nicely done. Whenever you see a purple thing like this, you know, you can grapple to the outside of it, so you might be like, well, okay, I'll just go around the outside, but, you know, at this point you realize there's no way it's that easy, so I think Tommy correctly identifies he really needs to be inside that thing. Alpha 5 is sprinting, blasting. The bitrate can't handle it. Where is he going? I can barely tell, but he has found the exit. 18 seconds. Good enough for 3 diamonds. Nicely done. Oh, there's the exit. Jorf finally out of this difficult level. Tommy blasting out of a chute and almost able to connect directly with the exit, but not quite. Maurice still on this difficult level. Jorf's got some diamonds. He's done. The 170. Our first finish on stream, our second overall. GG to Jorf. We might have the capacity to switch some players out, maybe. I think there's probably still some other people racing, so we might go ahead and do that. But for now, we'll take a look at Alpha 5. Maurice and Tommy are showing us this sort of Blue Cross-looking level. I think he's gone back to an earlier area. The level's looking a lot less punishing, a lot more blue, and a lot less red. He is 0.03 away from getting the 3rd diamond on that level. Dang. Has this game released for Switch yet? I believe no, but I have heard that it is coming to Switch. I have not been told that by the developers or the organizers, though, so I'm not 100%, but I think it's a thing. And I don't think it's here yet. Gyro control on the Switch, that'd be pretty wild. Jorf needs more crystals. He still hasn't unlocked Marathon. Maybe he just beat all the levels? Alright, well he's back into it, and we've had no other finishes, so 2nd place is still on the table here. So I feel like Jorf was doing pretty good. So either he skipped a big chunk of levels earlier on, or there aren't too many more than 170 stars available, diamonds, whatever they are, the guffins. You need them. Oh, Marathon requires all crystals. So then he is done. Okay, well now he says he's actually done, so there we go. Alright, Speed Tommy, grappling up into a really dangerous situation and wasn't quite able to get between those two red blocks. That's the kind of thing where you know, me as a player, if I grapple up into a room and that room is tightly packed with multicolored blocks, my brain doesn't really read that situation very quickly. I just see colors and shapes. I don't see like the intended route through this level, and you know, obviously I know to avoid the red and grapple to the blue, but in that split second when you launch into that room and you got to see it and react, I'm not very good at that stuff, but I've been seeing some really impressive stuff from these players here today. Look at these windmill back and forth grapples from Alpha 5 with a ton of speed coming into the exit. I don't know if the left-right was worth the extra speed he got doing that. He does fall a little bit short of the 3 diamonds. He's on a difficult level now. Like Maurice. Any level that kind of boxes you in with these kill walls and forces you to really control your movement, it's pretty difficult. Especially because these guys spend so much of their time just flying through levels as fast as possible, right? They don't really have too much experience, really, with trying to go slow and carefully control your movements through a level, so they get kind of put out of their element into a new sort of way of thinking. We got the dot done from Tommy with these 2 diamonds here. Hopefully we'll be able to make sure on stream in a little bit. The spooky green eye is back again. I am kind of curious to find out what the deal is with this thing. Alpha 5 trying to control himself at the top of a tower. Oh, he realizes the situation he's in now. He does not have enough speed to reach the sort of transfer point over to the other tower. I guess Jorf's gonna keep going for some diamonds. And he bonked his head, actually, so gonna have to run that one back. Maurice joining Alpha 5 in this really difficult ascension, followed by a sort of transfer across. Oh, but Alpha got a little bit turned around. I think he did give himself enough speed to make the connection. Nicely done. Not so easy. And then the descent actually is I mean, in some ways it's easier because you've got that double jump, but in a lot of ways it's harder. But it looks like he is able to navigate it probably easier than going up. But you do start falling with a lot of speed, and that can be difficult to control. Diamonds for Jorf. Maurice, ooh, he had a really good grapple set up to transfer over to the other tower, except he was facing the complete wrong direction. Okay, actually, by the time I looked over, he had actually already completed the transfer. Falls down under the exit. He wasn't trying to launch himself, he was trying to steady himself there. It's really weird to see some of the players back in some of the easier levels, just messing around. This game isn't afraid to get real hard on you. Alpha 0.9 away from getting that 3rd diamond. I think he's actually going to do this one again. Confident he can pick up that 0.9 seconds. I think he bopped the yellow a little bit. Alright, the ending's a little hairy. 15.7, yeah. Easy peasy. Not even close. Maurice in the same level now. He bonks his head on the yellow. So I don't think we're going to be seeing the triple diamond unless he absolutely kills it through the ending. Wow, looks like the ending killed him. Alpha 5, it's difficult to even pick out where the different pieces of this red stuff is in relation to all the red walls in the background behind it, but Alpha has got through the first part, and just a double jump floating over the second part. Wow, nice reaction, stopping himself from hitting that big angry red mountain in that tunnel. It is going to kill all his speed, but he is alive. And actually, even though he had to completely halt his movements for a little bit, he was very close to 3 diamonds, so he's going to go ahead and give it a shot again. Tommy and Dacus in the chat. GG's to them. Very well played. Maurice is still on this very difficult level. I think maybe the fact that he always seems to break his grapples with jumps is hurting him a lot in any level where there's this low ceiling that you gotta navigate, right? Like this starting point has been a lot of trouble for him. Alpha did not have to slam on the brakes this time. We'll see if the rest of his level was clean enough. He knows the ending a little bit better too. Clearing the way into the door, 18.2, good enough for that 3rd diamond. Dwarf also picking up 3 diamonds there. Though he's on to the easier levels though, so... well, I say that, but sometimes the thresholds on the easy level just gets a lot lower because the level is easy, and then it's actually not all that easy to get the 3rd diamond. Alpha had a ton of speed, lost it all on the wall. Probably could have saved himself there, but just figures I had so much speed. If I just do that again, I can probably just leverage that speed. Just fling myself past whatever. Oh, but an unretracted grapple. If you run over the grappling hook while it's stuck in the floor, it's not going to extend and let you run past it. It's going to anchor you to the floor immediately and just yank you back. Last second save with a ton of speed. Oh, he actually hits the ceiling. I think he can shoot and break. Yes. Oh, but he didn't like his angle at the final approach. Maurice did finish that one difficult level and is on to another, forcing him again to control his height on these grapples, which has been a big problem for him in this race. Drove going from 2 to 3 diamonds. We got Dark Shadows 59 on screen in the bottom left. It was currently at the end of a level, and was trying to, you could have figured out something to swing on and flip yourself up onto the end of the level. It's a fun little technique that you get pretty good at if you're not great like me. But I think Dark Shadow knows, if I just do that level better, I can probably pick up an extra diamond or maybe 2, so just went ahead and reset. Ooh, 0.8 away from getting that 3rd diamond. Well, I think it's probably a good move to do that jump over the railing at the start. What was not a good move was grappling into the floor and not releasing it fast enough and losing a bunch of your speed that way. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Nope. Clean up that one start, get this jump over the... Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That should be enough to get that 0.8, I think. Oh, and cutting these angles a little bit better. Getting a ton of speed off of those runs. Look at the difference. Saving, what is that? Basically 3.5 seconds over that previous best. And that to me is the real core fun of this game. Is doing something and then figuring something out and putting it into practice and then seeing that time drop. It's really satisfying. Maurice has got a lot of speed, and I think he's able to control it here. He's going to land and walk a little bit. Able to on the fly get one last grapple that gets him nicely into the door. Well done. Alpha is going to try to swing underneath the sort of the level here, basically. Gets him way out to the outside. Does he have something to anchor to? He does, and then gets through the side door. Extremely well done to land the end of that level blind. Gets 2 diamonds, and you can see the 3rd diamond kind of expects you to do something like that, right? In terms of routing, it can be pretty interesting sometimes when you finish a level and you're like, that seemed pretty good. I think I did pretty good there, and then it's like you are 15 seconds off of getting that 3rd diamond, and then you realize like, oh, there's another approach to this level I need to take because mine is just not going to get me there. Alpha is back on this extremely difficult level. Maurice with a triple diamond. He's done, actually, I think. Yes. Maurice is finished. So it's Alpha 5 and Dark Shadows who are on stream and still racing. Jorf's just still playing, and I feel like Maurice might do the same. The game is just so fun, you don't want to put it down. It's hard to imagine a better sales pitch than these guys just played for an hour and a half in a really tense competition, and the second they finish, they're just like, yeah, no, I want to play more. Alpha 5 really controlling his movements here. I like what I'm seeing. Immediately canceling these grapples and do a double jump. Okay, no, just clip the left wall a little bit. But I think he'll get it next time, though. I think he's really landed on something with grapple directly into double jump. It keeps you bouncing at around the same height and really kills off a lot of your speed. So lets you control where you go very nicely. Oh, he tried to keep his speed through that section a little bit too long. Dark Shadows blasting this big green wall out. This was a level from the demo, and considering the way Dark Shadow's moving through it, I think maybe they might have played the demo. Ooh, but an errant launch way out to the side, unable to save themselves. Alpha is not slowing down. Oh, it's the Battletoads Turbo Tunnel all over again. Left, right, left, right, left, right, jump. And the jump out of the blue just caught him. He hits a wall, but he's going to continue on. Not for too long before touching that wall. Dark Shadow blasting away the blocks blocking the end of the exit, and pretty easily picks up the 3rd diamond on that level. Alpha actually going to completely stop himself, which I thought maybe was intentional, but given he started immediately grappling up the floor to accelerate again, I realized was probably not. He is too addicted to that speed. Dark Shadow was looking for something to grapple to save themselves. Not able to find it. this tunnel just launches you way up here, huh? Alright, using that time to clear the way. Lots of grapple points enabled. Nicely done. The exit is to the left, so gonna have to do a little bit of course correction. And nicely done. Alpha once more into this red forest of trees, as it were. It's weird. What is this? There must be a word for this phenomenon, where you try something and your first time, you do really good. You almost get it. You were so close. You're like, okay, I got this. And then your second, third, fourth, fifth, and up through 12th tries are nowhere near as good. There's got to be a word for it. And if not, maybe we should make one. Dark Shadow just barely with the tippy toe of their legs clipping the gate and exiting that level with 3 diamonds. Nicely done. Beginner's luck? No, I don't think it's beginner's luck. There's a lot of red outside for Maurice. Yeah, having some difficulty parsing where the level wants him to go, actually. I think he maybe had the right of it, but he second-guessed himself and turned around. Jorf is on a gigantic launch. Almost had a really good exit. It was a pretty good recovery afterwards, though. Actually still good enough for 3 diamonds. And Alpha's on another difficult level. We saw all 3 of the other players on this one. I think Maurice had the worst go of it. Just kept popping up into the ceiling like we just saw there from Alpha 5. Sometimes it feels like the double jump doesn't get you anywhere. Right? If you're trying to do a really big jump somewhere, it feels like it just doesn't do enough. But then suddenly in these really small tunnels, it feels like it's launching you way too high. Dark Shadow able to pull himself into the tunnel with a clean launch right into the end. 3.4 seconds off of the 3 diamond time. That's right in that situation where you gotta wonder, how hard do I gotta work for that extra diamond? Could be a little, could be a lot. We're looking at the windmills now. They're pretty intimidating. There's not a lot in this game that is a moving element like this, so it's a little bit unfamiliar, but gets a pretty good launch off of that forward moving one. Not quite good enough for the 3, but picks up an easy double. Alpha still on this difficult level. He's just going straight from tether to tether and using the slow-mo as well, actually. That worked out really good. But the ending is not so easy. There is no easy grapple point to get that little bit of height you need to get up to the exit, and there's a lip of purple that prevents you from just kind of rubbing your face into it and hopping up it. Maurice he's really taken to kind of mastering this level. It looks so scary, but he's going through this beginning section with a lot of speed and grace. Still working up on cleaning sort of the building that you're making your way into. Jorf with a big launch straight to the exit. Oh, but he overshot it a little bit, had to kind of stumble backwards into it. Didn't cost him the triple diamond there. Alpha 5 picks up the triple diamond on that very difficult level. He must be closing in on the goal now. You see, after this initial launch, you need to find this piece right there, and then connect back and forth, upwards and upwards. Looks like he's going to be able to go directly to that one, though, which is a much easier starting point. Here's the exit. All right, nicely done. He had to do a grapple jump to make sure that he was pulling himself forwards, but giving himself enough height, keeping the sort of red outline all around that final platform. It's pretty scary to see that at the end and be able to react accordingly. This was really nicely done. He also picks up the triple on that one as well. Dark Shadows all around the outside of a building, trying to back his way into the exit. Just good enough for the 1 diamond on that one, but that's a really long level. I don't think that's a very good candidate for replaying to try to get more diamonds. Alpha and another difficult control level, I guess I'm going to call it. A lot less about speed and more about navigating a tight environment. Really clean launch. Is he able to convert? Yes, he is. And good enough for the triple as well. Dark Shadows has made their way up on top of the level, but there just doesn't seem to be a lot going on up here. $16.6. I think we saw Maurice do that level and came away with like an 18.9 or something, so did a really good job of finding some optimizations really quickly on that one. And then there is this very tricky level, similar to a lot of the other levels where you need to very carefully control your height. Okay, he's launched himself around the outside of this thing, but I don't think there's any coming back from that one. He was just kind of counting on there being something. Ooh, nice realization that whatever he was about to do was not going to work. Oh, that's so mean. Okay, so you need to be very far away from the block and then tether to it and do a swing underneath the entire platform. And that should kind of launch you up where you need to be. But it's really not so easy because the red extends so far around outside the blue. See there, he was coming in too shallow. Well, I guess this is not how you're supposed to do this. You're not supposed to feather your way through. You're supposed to do that big swing that you need to do at this part. Just none of the players were opting to do that because, well, one, they may be playing with the quick detach, which means you actually can't just grapple onto something and swing. In order to grapple onto something, you have to constantly be reeling yourself towards it. And I think maybe Alpha's considering changing his controls actually for this level. That, or he's just taking a break because he's been playing this game for an hour and 40 minutes now. It does help that this section is so early on, though, that even if it's incredibly hard and you're making it harder on yourself with a faster route, you get at least rapid attempts at it. Drove going around the outside of these gates that you can open up. And then launching himself way into the distance. How's the progress? Maurice and Jorf are done. They are just messing around right now. Alpha 5 is very close to done. The goal is to get 170 diamonds. And you earn up to 3 for completing each level, depending on your time. In Dark Shadows, I'm not sure. We switched them in after Speed Tommy finished. So at some point hopefully we get a cutscene where we can check in and see how many diamonds Dark Shadow has. Alpha is trying to make a decision about what levels he does, because he realizes there's a strategic element to that can really help him out. But he just doesn't know how many diamonds he has, so he doesn't have the information he needs to make that call. Whoa, this level got really scary all of a sudden. The floor is no longer okay. The floor is lava. But you can grapple into the lava and then cancel that grapple with a jump to stay above it. Now the floor is not a floor at all. You have to try to fall through it. Really fun level. He got a little bit turned around at the end. That was good enough for 0.5 short of getting that third diamond. I think Alpha's hit the point where he just needs a couple more diamonds, and he's gonna opt to pick them up by going faster in the earlier levels, rather than trying to get through those really, really tough levels at the end. Dark Shadows onto Purple Veins. Ooh, cutting it really close to the edge of this thing. Okay. Doesn't have a lot of speed, but he has managed to control himself. Oh, okay. Is able to save it and does not touch the purple structures at the end. This grapple should be good enough. So not quite so clean, but it is definitely good enough to get to the exit. Might be good enough for 2. Yeah, it is. Actually, right on the door of getting 3 diamonds for that level. Maurice is back in this really difficult level that we saw Alpha, I think, kind of give up on a little bit. I kind of like Maurice was staying to the side of the blue blocks, and that was kind of that's altering the effect that the grapple is having as you move through that section. Pulling you less down and more to the side, I suppose. Or maybe if you draw the vectors, it's still pulling you down at the same amount, but maybe it's just more about lining himself up with where he needs to be at the end of this red structure that he's trying to go under. Alright, so Alpha, I think he's doing math right now. I think he's counting how many diamonds he has. Now, I don't know about you, but I think math is hard enough to do, let alone trying to do it under pressure in a race. There's a third diamond for Jorf. There is an overall counter that pops up at certain points. I guess you need to like beat a world to trigger it, where you can see it. Again, this isn't a very standard race category we're doing. We didn't want to have the players do absolutely everything in the game because that would be kind of too long for a blind race. But there's no real clean ending point. So we've raced to earn a certain number of diamonds, and it just turns out that it's a little awkward to check how many you have. Some nice wall running. I'm not going to be able to save Alpha. Dark Shadow is getting onto some of the harder levels now. We're seeing an awful lot of red. Well, yeah, They didn't like their angle, so they're going to back that up, sailing into the middle of the room, looking at where to go next. It's really not so clear. Oh, the grapple is not steadying, so goes ahead and just lets it out and is underneath the platform. And I guess that was a reset? I think probably you could have been able to save that. Unless they touched some red, I'm not sure. This is the first day that this game has launched. And I think there's been an intention from developers to sort of pay attention to the community and feedback and stuff, and support the game at least a little bit past launch, I think is the plan. Maybe you shouldn't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Alpha getting another double. Not content with it, going back for a third. Well, that's tough. He was going so fast, his jump didn't get him enough height fast enough to clear the bar. I don't know what Jorf's doing right now, but I can't imagine it's the optimal thing. Goes ahead and resets it. Dark Shadows into this yellow tunnel. This is the end of the level here, I'm pretty sure. It kills a lot of your speed. Uh-oh, he didn't land on anything. He needs to find something, and I don't think there's anything. He does. They do see the exit, though. So that is good. Good information for next time. Alpha with the 7.009 on a 7-second goal for the triple diamond. There we go, 6.4. Picking up that easy diamond. Dark Shadows this time. A much better finish. And good enough for the triple. God, I'm wondering how many levels Jorf has left before we get the full triple diamond clear. Alpha with a quick finish, good enough to clear that triple diamond mark. Now Alpha Shadows definitely getting onto the harder levels now. Look at all this red. Whoa. A valiant attempt to save themselves. We're seeing a lot of speed. I'm surprised we're not seeing an attempt to slow down and gain more control from Dark Shadows, but I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Throw yourself at the level a couple times really fast and see how it goes, and then once you're sure it's not going to work, then you can do something else. Nice save. Looked out in front, didn't see anything to grapple onto, so immediately hit the slow-mo and turned around, but unfortunately, just coming off the grapple, when you're really close to the grapple, I'll talk about that a little bit, because Alpha 5 is now done. 170 diamonds collected. Oh, you reset his timer, so 8:54 means I guess if Dark Shadow's timer is correct, it's about I think Alpha 5. GG to him. But the what was I talking about? The tether. When you're really close to the tether, you start to violently shake around as it tries to pull you, up, and then now you're above it, so down, and then up, down, up, down. And when that happens, it can kind of kick you up into, say, a red ceiling right above you pretty easily. So that's what happened to Dark Shadow, unfortunately. This time they're just going to fling themselves right around the outside. And I'm sure they were expecting the exit, but instead they've found this switch. Now, it doesn't have a laser that kind of guides you in the right direction. as to what it opened, which is a phenomenal touch, by the way. Is this going to be enough to save? No, it is not. A really long grapple there was doing a lot of work to pull Dark Shadow to safety, but not enough to cancel gravity, unfortunately. Dwarf's doing some pretty wild stuff to pick out the where he needs to go in this level. I think it might have worked out, but he got a little bit stuck at the end. But it's still just enough to cut the 25 for the triple diamond. So I guess he's gonna take that one. Alpha coming back to this really horrible level that gave him so much trouble. I'm not actually sure how many players are racing. I think we just have Dark Shadow. Or maybe Minus? So we'll hang out for a little bit. Even after the race ends, we did schedule this thing for 2.5 hours, so if everyone wants to keep playing, I would not be opposed to hanging out and watching more Cyberhook. I don't know, Alpha 5 is using the wall run to keep himself alive. We did not see a lot of that from a lot of the other players. I think all of them were so used to the demo where that mechanic was not introduced that they didn't really incorporate it into their play, but Alpha 5 doing a really good job of that. Picks up the double. I wonder if he's thinking about going for a triple. Dwarf getting clipped by the low bars. Yeah, Dwarf's getting to the pretty high levels now, and assuming he has got 3 diamonds on everything up to this point, which I think he has. I think he's pretty close to the full clear now. Been really impressed by his play. Some players were actually playing through the beta of the game, which is a little bit different, but had like most of the levels, I'm pretty sure. So considering Dwarf only played the demo, and he didn't really play it all that long, to do as well as he's done in this race, I find very impressive. It'd be more impressive if he could jump over this red bar that keeps taking out his kneecaps. Dark Shadow at the end of a level, I think. The tunnel seems to beckon. Oh, come on. Just barely missing the hitbox on the tunnel. Oh, you know what? I think, yeah, that's more like the halfway point, I think. 30.1 Alpha, I gotta say, has got a real knack for getting just shy of this 3rd diamond on a number of levels. Dark Shadow wall running up the side of this wall here. It's gonna try to go up on top of this thing. Yeah, there's no hole up there. You gotta go in through the front door, I think. No, that's purple. That's not gonna work. Sort of the sad admission that this was not how things were supposed to go. I guess the front is mostly purple here too. Somewhere is the entrance into this place. Just going way out underneath this thing. That is way too far away to grapple and save themselves. Maybe they had already kind of given up on that run. We're keen on having something more smooth to maybe pick up an extra diamond or 2. So they were like, let's just look and see, and then we'll go again from the start. I like that last second grapple from Alpha 5. Dark Shadows at 214 on the speedometer. Ridiculous amount of speed. None of that counts for anything when you all of a sudden have to do a 90-degree turn upwards. Jorf's poking around, trying to investigate the end of this level. Kind of going in through the side a little bit, but unable to release the tether in time. Dark Shadow's option to do some grappling rather than some shooting. I find the shooting a lot more uncomfortable than the grappling in this game, so I can understand players that only do it when they absolutely have to. How did Dark Shadow save themselves in that situation? What a grapple. A couple of very precise shots followed up by a very long distance grapple. Let's see if that clutch move pays off. Yeah, there it is, into the end of the level. Nicely done. Alpha launching himself up towards this tunnel with a lot of speed, but he didn't get inside it, so... Whoop. Missed the landing on that one. Jorf with a couple of rapid flicks to keep his speed up in the air. But unfortunately he launched himself upwards instead of downwards at the end. Alpha 5 doing a dead drop into the end of the level. Is good enough for 2, but is not going to be able to play it that safely. He wants to try to go for the triple there. Dark Shadows is back in this level. Launched himself way over everything. He's looking for a grapple just to come back down to earth. Doesn't find it and didn't like how much hang time they had there, so they went ahead and reset. You can ensure you get through that gap with that purple wall by hitting the ceiling, but then that is going to kill a bunch of your speed, unfortunately. But does guarantee you to get through the start of this level for Dark Shadow. Alright, it's deep into the big blue structure now. Was ready for the 90-degree turn this time. And there's the exit. Alpha 5 also with an exit. 2 diamonds, 1.4 short of hitting that third diamond mark. Jorf almost able to fling himself into the exit it was the most ridiculous high-speed 180-degree turn I've ever seen, and he just missed the exit by a little bit. Flung himself into the void. Alright, Dark Shadow's got a connection, a cutscene here, sorry. So let me see if I can spot how many diamonds we're dealing with. 110, I think that says? Yeah. is inside the mailbox, doesn't know what's going on, is very scared, is panicking. The sparks are flashing. Where am I? Where's Dark Shadow? Are they okay? Are they safe? It's like swinging back and forth, I guess. Yeah, he was just he was just on a ride at the carnival, just in the tilt-a-whirl a little bit. That's very funny. Okay. The rest of this level has gone pretty good, though. Pretty good job of multiple grapples. Unfortunately, just came in a little bit too low. It might still be good for 3. Oh, it's not even 2. What a mean level. I guess you really need to make use of the launch off the mailbox at the start. Yeah, but you gotta prevent yourself from launching into the bottom of it, though. That's the thing. I guess a lower grapple point would really help with that. And Dark Shadow keeps grabbing the top of it. Makes it really difficult to swing underneath. So we got Dark Shadows on the right, Alpha 5 on the left. Again, Alpha's done. It is, I think, maybe just Dark Shadows left, who is streaming. But I think Minus might be racing along as well. We're just not going to be able to follow their journey. Alpha 1.2 seconds off of that third diamond now. Oh, Dark Shadow's going out to the left of the mailbox. I like that. So there, I guess there's like a thing that shoots at you. This evil green eye. It was plaguing Dark Shadow, who tried to just fling past it. Alright, it's going to be able to grapple to the end. I think that's good enough for 2 yet, just barely. 0.3 under the bar. Alpha 5 has a ridiculous amount of speed. Can barely tell who he is and where he's going. Throwing in some wall runs. The exit is very high. Oh, what a nice job. Realized he was in a bad situation. The exit is very high above me. I need to fix this immediately. Turns around like 135 degrees to grapple diagonally backwards and then immediately 180 behind him over to the exit. Very well done. Dark Shadow's pulling himself over the purple structures rather than swinging under. Unfortunately, undetached grapple killed a bunch of their speed. We're seeing just a little bit of a boost tunnel at the bottom there. Using the extended grapple to kill that hang time, get down to earth, and get moving again. And didn't like the position of that piece of blue structure. Grappling that would have just pulled them directly into it and bonked their heads, so they opted to fly past it, and it was the right decision. Unfortunately, they were just a little bit shy of hitting the second diamond mark. Alpha's looking for something to grapple to, not going to find it. This was the level we saw Alpha opt to go somewhere else. So we'll see if he can do it. I kind of like that start, though, giving himself a whole bunch of speed. And kind of waiting to grapple until he's falling so that he's pulling himself up rather than down. So he can't stand on this thing. He is trying to rapid jump propel himself away from it. This is extremely awkward. I'm surprised he is pulling this off at all. Oh, he's using the slow-mo now. This is going to get him pretty high up. Now, is it going to get him over where he needs to be? It is not. I like the thought, though. Dark Shadows with a finish. 21.1. Just a little bit off. I think Alpha's got through now, but the level is not over. Really tricky to get yourself into this tunnel. Oh, and he was not quite able to manage it. He's again doing this propel grapple up. And he is able to connect over here. Really nicely done. Oh, we saw a lot of players make that same mistake. They just kind of they grapple the top and they were like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll swing through, and I'll get through there." And then it's a little bit too low. I think we saw at least 3 of the 4 players make that exact same mistake. Ooh, just barely. Gave himself a bit of a haircut on the purple there, did Alpha, but he's through. He's in the tunnel. It's not over yet. He's been pretty comfortable with this grapple double jump thing that he's using, and he is through. Good enough for 1. Is 11 seconds off of 2 diamonds. I don't even want to know what the triple diamond is on that level. That's really mean. That's the kind of level that makes me wonder if I'll ever get all 3 diamonds on every stage in this game. I'm looking forward to trying. If you are looking forward to maybe giving this game a shot, it's on sale right now on Steam. I think it is coming to Switch in the nearish future. And we may even still have a key to give away if you're interested in competing in our competition over the month of October up until November 1st. Players are going to be able to play this game and submit their best times. And we're going to take the top 3 times at the end of November 1st. And we're going to give out some prize money courtesy of the developers, Blazing Stick, and I think publishers, Graffiti Games. So I think that's pretty cool. There's a total of $500 up for grabs and prizes. And it's really fun to learn a speed run as part of a group. There is a sort of group journey aspect to it that can be a lot of fun. So if you think like maybe it wouldn't be my thing, or you're a little apprehensive or something, I would encourage you to give it a shot. Links already in the chat if you want to find more information about that competition. Along the way, also, we'll be doing a stream, a community race at some point, partially through the competition, just to kind of check in on the players, see where they're at, see what the strats are for the game. And on November 1st, we're going to be doing Chase for the Record. We'll have the top players on. They'll all be competing to try to beat their times and each other's time, trying to take the top spot, and try to claim the prize money. I think it could be a lot of fun. Alpha 5 doing a lot of rapid grapples on the floor and is looking to just get one clean swing around the outside of that section. Looks like he's going to press forward with this one and see what it gets him. 22 is not going to be enough. A tough one to optimize, to be sure. Dark Shadow's unable to connect with that grappling point. And too slow on the slowdown. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more liberal use of that now. Unfortunately, it was used at the wrong time. Or, well, it needed to be used both on the connection and on the release, I guess, there. And didn't really last the whole swing. Okay, we're seeing it's tough when you spend a long time in the slow-mo. You kind of start to forget just how much speed you really have, and so when you come out of the slow-mo, it can feel like a really jarring acceleration that you can not be ready for sometimes. I don't think Dark Shadow's going to be able to save this one. Alpha grappling the sides of the platforms is, you know, he took a really outside angle there, but he certainly does have a lot of speed. I think that's going to be good. Oh, wow. Yeah, the route was just not there. Need a different approach, even though I liked what I saw quite a bit. Alpha moving on to this difficult level we saw Maurice in. Pretty different approaches. Alpha's grappling and canceling into jumps immediately, whereas Maurice was more willing to let the grapple pull him along faster. And I guess we've been going for well over 2 hours now, and I said this is a draining game, mentally and in some ways physically. On like your mouse hand and keyboard hands gotta work pretty hard, and so it looks like Dark Shadow is going to go ahead and tap out, has typed in the forfeit. They got to 115 diamonds. The difficulty of the game, it ratchets up at the end, man. It's no joke. And getting 3 diamonds on those earlier levels isn't the easiest thing either, so you can't just go master those early levels. You do gotta get your head around some of the more difficult stuff and some of the more finer control the game asks you to do. But thanks so much, Dark Shadows, for coming out and competing. Congrats to everyone for racing. Congrats again to our first place finisher off stream, Daka. Congrats to Jorf, who's finished first on stream. We also had Speed Tommy, Maurice, Alpha 5, and now Dark Shadows. So I guess one last time, I'll remind you guys that there's going to be an ongoing competition. It's not just this race today. This race, I guess, is mostly just for fun to celebrate the launch of the game. But over the next month, basically, about 5 weeks or so, there's going to be an ongoing competition where players are just going to be submitting their times of the main category for this game. And we're going to take a look at the top 3 times November 1st and give out some cash prizes to those 3, courtesy of developers Blazing Stick and publishers Graffiti Games. You come in right at the end of the race, Lucas, Sam. Alpha 5 is done and Dark Shadow has just forfeit. But everyone did a great job today. This has been a lot of fun. So thanks everyone for watching the launch day race of Cyberhook. If you like the game, you want to check it out, maybe compete in the World Record Bounty competition, you can pick it up on Steam and I think on Switch in a little bit at some point. But definitely on Steam right now, and actually on Steam I think it's 10% off for the next week or so. So it would be good to get in on it earlier rather than later. Our competition ends November 1st. So all throughout this month, players are going to be playing and learning and competing. We're going to do a community race at some point in October to kind of check in on people. We're going to have a Chase for the Record event on November 1st. So keep an eye out for that stuff. Well, you know what? Maybe I should relay this message from Graffiti Games, the publisher. They wanted to swing in, say thanks to the runners for being so enthusiastic about Cyberhook. Blazing Hook, the developer, essentially a one-person team. What he's accomplished is pretty amazing. I agree. We're excited to see the Chase for the Record competition play out over the next few weeks. If you like the game, leave a review on Steam as well. Yeah. All right. So thanks again for watching. I'm Mythical9. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Mythical9 with an I and a 9. I think this command might still work. Yeah, that's me. Oh yeah. Okay. Before I sign off, let's see Alpha 5 beat the last level. We can do that. We got time. So I will say after this, there's a Final Fantasy Randomizer weekly community race here on Speed Gaming, so stay tuned for that. But more than that, I think you should stay tuned to watch Alpha 5 finish this level. Yes, there it is. Or maybe this isn't. Maybe this isn't the last one. No, there it is. Kicked him out to the level select. Nicely done. Perfect ending. Thanks so much to Alpha 5 and to all the competitors racing today. It's been a blast. We'll be back in a little bit with that community race, with that chase for the record. We hope to see you then. So have a good night.